In this lecture, we will take the next step to adding our assets to the document. We need to queue the files. In the resource section of this lecture, I provide a link to a function called WP_Enqueuing. This function will queue a CSS file. You may be wondering, what's the difference between registering and queuing a file? If a file is registered, WordPress will become aware of it. It doesn't do anything with the file. It just stores the location of the file in memory. Queuing a file will tell WordPress to load the file in the browser. It's optional to register a file. However, I highly recommend doing so. It'll allow you to queue a file if you don't want to queue it immediately. It's considered good practice to register a file before queuing it. If we look at the parameters of this function, it has one required parameter. It's the name of the handle. The handle must correspond with the name stored during registration. As for the other parameters, they may look familiar. It's because the other parameters are the same parameters for the WP register style function. If we decide not to register a file, we'll need to provide this information. However, if we registered a file, only the handle name is necessary. The WP_Enqueuing function will search through the list of registered files to get the rest of the information. We've already registered the files. So, luckily for us, we don't have to rewrite the information. Let's switch back to the editor. In the function, we're going to call the WP_Enqueuing function. We're going to load the files in the same order we registered them. The handle for the first file is called UFont, Rubik, and Pacifico. The value must match the value passed into the first argument of the WP register style function. Let's enqueue the rest of the files. It's going to be the same as before. I'm going to queue all the files. Great, we're finished. If we did everything right, WordPress should load our files in the head section of the document. As we've learned, WordPress will create the base template for our theme. This includes calling the WP head function, which is responsible for creating a location for our theme to load files. Let's refresh the home page. You should have something similar to what I have. Things are coming along great. Granted, the site is partially broken. That's fine. We're slowly getting there. Let's tackle some problems that we looked over.